Let's take an example. Now this is something I want you to very cautiously look at and understand. This looks very neat, tidy, with the bullet points, no hassle, no sentences used, just to the point. New mobile, probably new mobile is the brand name of the mobile. As an example, I have taken this. New mobile, sleek, long battery life, large screen, 8 MP camera, 2 years warranty. Looks very neat, tidy. All points, major points are made clear to you as a customer. But what is the emotion created in you by reading this? Is there any emotion at all created? New mobile, sleek, long battery life, large screen, 8 MP camera, 2 years warranty. For you at this stage, if I talk about A for apple, B for boy, C for cat and D for dog, how does it feel to you? It's as dry as this. Now, let's put some hypnotic trance, hypnotic words, hypnotic mode of writing into the same new mobile and create the sentences out of that to describe. It might look longish, but then that's how it is. Imagine, please look at the words that I have put in italics. I'll just read them again for you. Imagine. There is another word, sleek and powerful. There is another word here seen, featherweight. Then there is powerful. Then there is piece of marble. That's it. Now let's read this. Imagine you are carrying a tiny, whiny, sleek and powerful mobile in your pocket with 2 years warranty. Now it's a mobile with 2 years warranty. How it is? Tiny, whiny, sleek and powerful. And I'm asking you to imagine. Imagine is a very powerful hypnotic word used in the marketing and sales copies. The moment I say imagine, I'm triggering somewhere on your mind. And you start saying, okay, because visualization is something that you know about. Imagination is something that you do not even know about, possibly. But even that is possible. So imagine you are carrying a teeny-weeny, sleek and powerful mobile in your pocket with 2 years warranty. While others need to carry heavy cameras. See, it may not seen properly on your screen perhaps, but this heavy word is deliberately made bold. I want to add weight of that heaviness into that word itself. So while others need to carry heavy cameras, you shoot pictures with your featherweight yet powerful 8 MP mobile camera. So when you go out, you are imagining. Suddenly some customer might start imagining that he is on some kind of nature spot where there are many people around, many people carrying the cameras and shooting the nature, and you are carrying that small, sleek, lightweight, featherweight mobile and carrying that camera and shooting those pictures equally well, probably better than theirs, yet their camera is heavier, you are carrying a very light and sleek and neat and tidy and teeny-weeny kind of camera. In the crowd, you alone stand out, talking effortlessly on your piece of marble. See, what are the words used? In the crowd. So imagination, you are a lot of people around, you are amongst one of them. You are one of them amongst all. You alone stand out, talking effortlessly, means other mobiles are perhaps such where people have to search for the clarity, search for the clarity of voice. Here on this, because its powerful receptors are there, this probably is very effortless for you to talk about compared to all others. Puts you into a trance. You imagine yourself actually carrying that mobile, introducing world's best mobile. New mobile 7374 for mere 20K only. I could have written 20,000, 20,000. Deliberately it is written 20K. Amount remaining same, the moment I reduce the length of it, it suddenly psychologically appears to be very small amount. And still I am adding another word, mere 20,000. So even if 20,000 is a large amount for somebody. The moment I add mere 20,000, you think psychologically that the mobile must be worth much more than that. It's mere 20,000 for this kind of mobile. Immediately you're hooked. Read once again. I'll take you to the previous slide. New mobile, sleek, long battery life, large screen, 8 megapixel camera, 2 years warranty. Imagine you carrying a teeny sleek and powerful mobile in your pocket with 2 years warranty, while others need to carry heavy cameras. You shoot pictures with your featherweight yet powerful 8 megapixel mobile camera. In the crowd, you alone stand out, talking effortlessly on your piece of marvel. Piece of marvel. Taj is called as piece of marvel because everyone flock around from the world just to look at that. When I say piece of marvel, remember piece of marvel is generally used for something very exclusive as Taj Mahal at Agra, India. Something very beautiful, something very exclusive. Such things are called as a piece of marvel. The moment people understand what is a piece of marvel, the psychology is created about the mobile automatically even without showing the picture of it. Introducing world's best. W made capital, B made capital unnecessarily? No, with a reason. World's best mobile. New mobile 7374 for mere 20k only. Mere 20k only. I hope you understand. Let's understand a very important aspect here. Now that we have come to an understanding of what a hypnotic writing is, let us understand the psychology of a writer, copywriter, who starts writing, why some people write the best copies in marketing and sales and why some people cannot write good advertisement copies. I'm taking you to some kind of psychology here. I'm asking you to understand a very important topic of the two sides of human mind. One side is the servant behaving as master, and the second side is the master itself. To be a master, copywriter, listen to the master, not the servant. Let me elaborate that a bit. Servant is that conscious mind which keeps asking lots of questions, keeps asking lots of logical reasoning, keeps questioning, keeps doubting, or shall I say in UK words as a doubting Tom, or doubting Thomas, what they call in England. A doubting Tom or doubting Thomas is that mind which is actually a servant to your subconscious, yet it will always ask such questions to you. Why? How? Where? When? What? Whose? Lots of questioning, lots of questioning. You are always taught, if you recollect your school days till today, you have always been there has been an editor behind you in the form of your teacher when you were in school. And the teacher used to say, this is not right, that is not right, change the tense, make it passive, make it active, do this, do that. Lots of pressure on you. That pressurizing has become so habitual to you that whenever you start writing, many people halfway through stop, go back to what they have written, again they read it, and then they find 10 mistakes and then they correct it. Again they start writing, again they go back and again they correct it, and again they find a mistake and again they correct it. It goes on and goes on, and as point comes, then they lose the gist of writing. The natural flow does not stay. Because you are editing, constantly there is an editor behind, changing and checking your writings. The master, on the other hand, is not so. The master is where you are absolutely at peace. You are writing what comes to you naturally. You do not edit what you write, even if there are mistakes grammatically, even if you want to enhance certain words towards better, even if you want to add some kind of feelings and emotions which are not there actually. Don't ever edit. Keep writing. Finish the writing. Let the flow be complete. You always have time in hand, or you will have to create the one to edit it later on. But in between, if you start editing, in between if you allow that servant to play the role, then the master stroke will not be there into your writing. So let's understand the 3-step formula. Set goals, be in the present moment, and trust the outcome. This is the 3-step formula for your effective hypnotic writing. Let's understand set the goals, be in the present moment, trust the outcome one by one. Set goals. When you set goals for writing, I am not talking about the marketing goals that we discussed initially. I am not talking about the business goals. I am talking here now. Now that you have decided to write a marketing copy or a sales letter or a web page for the organization, you have to set goals for writing. Ask yourself these 3 questions. What do I want to create? I did not say what do I want to write. I said what do I want to create. First, understand and keep it in your mind that you are not just merely writing, you are creating some piece of art through your writing. So what do I want to create? Probably the answer is a sales letter. What do I wish to experience? Writing? No. You have to experience, you want to experience the joy of writing, the ecstasy of writing, the zing in writing, the great feel that yes, I've created a piece of marvel here. That kind of feeling, a joy of writing. What's my learning from that? Learning is that when I allow my master to operate and not the servant, I don't allow the servant's interruptions in between, then I really create great writing copy. Being in the present. Remember, when we start writing, probably there are lots of things coming to our mind. We might get lost into some kind of thoughts related to our past or some kind of thoughts related to our future. But remember, friends, past is lost and future is yet to appear. Distractions from the past or future ruin the present moment. Like a batsman has complete focus on the ball that is being delivered to him, you may focus on the pen moving or the keyboard getting hit by your fingers when you are typing it directly on the laptop or PC. The moment you are hitting the keys of the keyboard, or the moment you are writing on a sheet of paper, into your journal, into your notebook, into your sheets of foolscapes, and you are creating that copy, just look at the moments of your hand, look at the moment of your pen that is moving on the paper, and that itself will take you into the trance. The moment you get into a trance state, the natural flow starts, the master starts operating, the servant is kept quiet. And then you are in the present. Slowly the thoughts related to past, the thoughts related to future are lost, gone forever, and then you are into it, and that's how the master copies are created. Trust the outcome. Don't ever think whatever I will write, will that be best? Start with an impression on your mind, whatever I am writing is going to be best, and trust that outcome. Start with something and then continue to accept that something. Sometimes the right thoughts may not come. Sometimes the perfect thoughts required there may not come. But that is not the reason for not starting. You have to start with whatever comes to your mind and just keep writing, accept that something that comes to your mind, Don't edit while writing. Don't draft. Be the draft and keep flowing with the words. You have to personify yourself into that draft. The draft needs to be you. When you and draft are one, the words simply start flowing. It's an art. This is not a philosophy. You understand that by doing it actually practically yourself. That's how it is. And whatever is the outcome, trust the outcome is good. Many people ask me a question when I coach them on writing. Being a life coach, people ask these questions during some of their sessions, especially on writing. And then they ask me, but then it's a creative activity and I need some kind of inspiration, and without inspiration I can't give the good or powerful copy. That's why the title, Inspiration, Where Art Thou? My suggestion here to my coachee and now to you also is just begin with writing anything. Don't edit. Write like a letter in a personal tone. This is important. Though there are many customers, lakhs of customers, millions and billions of customers, but you cannot talk to all of them at a time. And collectively, if you call them a bunch of people or a crowd, you cannot talk to the crowd. Remember, if it is an advertisement in the newspaper that you are creating, and that advertisement will be read at a given point in time by lakhs of people, but remember, each time only one person reads that one newspaper. Another person at another place might be reading the same newspaper and the same advertisement, but many people read the same advertisement at the same time perhaps, but individually. So ultimately you are addressing it to that one individual who is actually reading it. Are you getting this? So writing it as if you are writing it to that individual, as if you are writing it in a letter form, personalized letter form, the language should be that. Because whenever that reader reads that, he should feel, yes, it is written for me. Yes, I am being addressed. Yes, I am the subject of this. I am part of this whole drama. Use prompts such as because, and, or. Why? The moment you add some sentences in that, because, the moment I say because, there has to be something beyond it. This is so and so, and the moment I say and, there has to be something beyond it. So the moment you start writing because and or, it compels you to further write. And it also compels the reader to further read. Relax. In the end, important inspiration process calls for relaxation. The inspirations will not start flowing unless you are physically and mentally relaxed. Don't play the guitar, let it play you. That's what they say. Or abroad they say, don't play the saxophone, let it play you. So when you start writing, don't write the draft. After a while, let the draft and you be the same. Inspiration will follow automatically. You don't have to call for it, or you don't have to even wait for it. Now let us understand about the language proficiency part. For any copywriting, for any creative writing, for any hypnotic writing, for any effective writing, you have to have some tools like this. You definitely must be having dictionaries, English into whatever vernacular or language here, or even language to language. For using a particular kind of word from that language, perhaps you'll require that. Use thesaurus. That's the book which will give you many words for one word, which are similar in meaning to that, but probably having different impacts and effects behind them, probably creating different levels of emotions and feelings behind them. So use thesaurus. Write normally. When you start editing, On a particular word, if you want a better word, find that word in the thesaurus and find a better option to that word from thesaurus. Use the book of similes. Similes are not to be too much in your writing, but similes are used, as a cherry on the pie. It's a cherry on the cake. It's an icing on the cake. Sometimes it's there. The whole cake cannot be of icing. It has to be there just to add a flavor. It has to be there just to add a great taste. It has to be there just to attract you. A kind of tinge is created. Now that is the meaning of similes here. Similes are some kind of metaphorical comparisons that you use. For example, as soft as a rose petal. The moment let's take that new mobile example. And if I want to write about it, I'll just not write the surface is so smooth. It will be so dry. I might write the touch of the mobile is as soft as the rose petal. The moment I say rose petal, a picture is created. The moment I say rose picture, the kind of feeling is created. You can understand the feeling of touch of that petal. And that is applied here to this mobile. And that gives you a different feeling. Rather than dryly saying it has a soft feeling. It's so dry. So similes are such as soft as rose petals. I hope you understand. Use book of analogies. There are books available in the market which create a kind of analogies, a kind of similar situations can be found in that book of analogies. You can use them in your copywriting. Use book of quotes. You can't use quotes every paragraph, but it's beautiful to use once in a while. The man is what a man thinketh, Buddha. Add a quote, put a square to that. Probably somebody will get immediately resonated to that. And if it fits into your copywriting, probably that person is hooked. The language proficiency continues. Write as if writing for a child. Remember, there is a child hidden in all of us. Individually, when we read the book, individually when we see some movie, that child within us is also seeing it. The child within us is actually enjoying it. If the movie director can satisfy the child within us, we like the movie. Think the same when you write for your customers. Write it as if you are writing for that child. 1, to please him. 1, to awaken him. 2, to awaken him. And 3, the language should be such which the child will understand easily. Long, big, complex sentences will not be useful. How do you tell the story to the child? Do you say something like, there was a king who was so tall and who was so brave and who was so fighting and who was great and famous in that continent, and he was always popular amongst the people and he was staying there in his continent. And then there was a queen who was so beautiful and so tall and so nice with a long hair and with beautiful eyes and who was always popular among the people. Will the child understand anything about the king? Will the child understand anything about the queen? That's not the way we talk to the child. Most of the people don't understand that way. But if you say something like, there was a king, his name was so and so, he was tall, he was handsome, he was so brave that he fought so many wars and he won many of them. He was very popular. If you make small sentences, short sentences, meaningful sentences, add emotions into that, we understand. Because the child within us understands that. Big sentences, long sentences, complex sentences with so many ands, but, since, when, all those conjunctions added and long sentence, you don't understand. Same rule applies here in hypnotic writing, in creative business writing. Also, you are writing as if you are writing for a child. There is a child hidden in all of us. Visualize your reader and picture your words accordingly. Your words should be such which will be capable of creating a picture easily. The moment you say, it was so beautiful as if I was watching a sunrise at Kanyakumari. It was so chilly, as if I was draped by ice all around. The moment I say I was draped by ice all around, the draping of ice itself gives a chilly feel. The sunset at Kanyakumari, the sunrise at Kanyakumari. Kanyakumari is very famous for both sunset and sunrise. The moment I say that, I have that beautiful sea, I have that beautiful sunrise, the beautiful colors in the sky, all that come to my mind. Use language which will create pictures. Write not to the crowd, but to a person. We already discussed it, because even if the crowd is there, crowd individually reads that advertisement. So talk to that individual who reads your advertisement. Get a feel. Get excited when you write, because when you are excited, your excitement, when you are feeling it, your feelings percolate down into your writing. When you feel it innerly, then that comes into your writing. You can't be dry and expect the feelings to come into your writing. Get to the point. Nobody wants to read long sentences. Nobody wants to read long paragraphs. Get to the point. Speak to the point. Don't judge. Remember, when you write, don't judge how my writing is, good or bad. Don't judge your product when you write. Ultimately, you are not going to buy your book. You are not going to buy your advertisement. You are not going to buy your own product. It is your customer who is going to read that book. It is your customer who is going to read that copy. It is your customer who is going to buy that product or services. He will judge it for you, or she will judge it for you. You can't. Don't judge. Don't try to be perfect. No one ever has been perfect. Whosoever claims is the most perfect person also might be committing some kind of error here and there. Nobody is perfect. We are not here to be perfect. We are here to try to be perfect. Know what you want. Unless you know what you are wanting to convey, you can't convey it. Give them what they want. Ultimately, they are the ones to buy your product or services. So understand their needs, and let that need come, let that need be shown into your writing. Ask questions to lead them to your side. For example, ask them something like, are you not willing to buy this if it is offered at 50% discount? The moment you lead the questions like this, the answer will be something like yes, because you are offering something into it. Use testimonials. It's a very wise thing to use testimonials of many people who have already used your product and are happy. Give their name, give their photograph, give their contact, with their permission of course, so that people know that it is authentic. If many people are saying it, people are publicly declaring it with their photographs, with their contact numbers, then definitely it is worth trying for you also. Remind them of their problems and of your solutions. In between, touch their problem once again and again tell them that you have the solution for their problem. Now, we come to the hypnotic titles of your copy. Hypnotic titles, how you should begin the star part of it. We are discussing the star part of it, something which will attract. Lead them with words like new, at last, announcing. If you start with such words, new, in bold, italics, curved, colorful, will attract. At last the thing is arrived. At last, as if people have been waiting for that and now you are giving it. Announcing the ultimate sale, the grand sale. Announcing, people get attracted. Hit the topic. Backache, sore feet, headache. Many people who are into it will immediately get attached to it. Promise a benefit. In your start only, promise a benefit. 20% discount to we school students for all the Wiser workshops. It's something attracting. Immediately people will say, okay, 20% discount just because we are student of we school. Why not attend it? Make it newsworthy. For example, new formula restores lost hair. All those with the lost hair will immediately get hooked onto it. New formula, because they have already been trying so much. They have been not wanting to try anything because it's all done, no results, but suddenly you write new formula restores lost hair. Probably customer gets hooked. Offer something free, new book on car repairs, free. Ask questions. Do you make these mistakes in English? Those who do will get immediately hooked upon it. Lead with testimonial. This is the most powerful lecture I have ever heard, XYZ from V School. The moment I add this kind of testimonial into my own brochure, anybody belonging to V School here, reading that kind of brochure, will also think, oh, somebody from my institution also says this. Fine, let me also try. Testimonials quickly get hooked. The customer hooked. Create how-to headline. A how-to headline is very important. How-to kind of books also sell very well. How-to kind of headlines also sell very well. How to help your children score highest in school. There will be many parents who want their children to score highest in the school, and they, despite the typical classes and guides, etc., are not able to achieve that. They probably will read about it. Feature your offer. Arrow shirts at 50% off. The starting, I'm talking about the hypnotic titles. When the title itself says arrow shirts at 50% off, immediately somebody, because you know arrow shirts, because you know the brand, and also you know 50% sales doesn't happen every time. The discounts are not there every time. So immediately you get hooked. Put the product name in the headline. The Wiser workshop saved a family from breakup. Anybody having a relationship issue will immediately get hooked on to this sentence and will say, what is this workshop about relationship, boss? I want to do that. Use a guarantee, like guaranteed no plaque and no cavities in your teeth. Perhaps you've seen such kind of advertisements, many advertisements on the televisions. Guaranteed no plaque, no cavities. Make things easy. Easy way to stop roof leakages. Anybody having a roof leakages only will see that advertisement. Others will not. Others will not get even attracted to that advertisement at all, subconsciously also. Now, the important takeaway points from this for you. The creative writing for great business. Understand, reader's trance. Don't be in your trance when you write. Be yourself when you're writing, means let the master play the role, not the servant. Don't wait for the inspiration. Just jumpstart the writing. As you keep writing without editing, the inspiration will automatically start flowing the moment the master takes over. Edit to your best, but only in the end, not in between. Otherwise, the servant will take over and he will not be able to produce good copywriting. Be proficient in hypnotic writing. All this is taught to you. More you become proficient in the languages, more you become proficient into the hypnotic words, more you become proficient into the placing of words in the right time, more you become proficient about adding similes and analogies, more you become proficient in referring to various kinds of thesauruses and dictionaries and books of analogies and books of similes, etc. that we talked about, more attractive, more hooking, more hypnotic kind of copy can be written by you. And the only key is to write, write and write. You can't think of writing and the writing cannot be created. You have to write for it. Keep writing, keep editing, keep writing and keep editing. I remember one incident where one of the great politicians in the US named Henry Kissinger, he was given a draft by his assistant. The draft came back in some time, immediately back to the assistant with the sticker on that, can be improved. The assistant worked on that. And again the draft was sent in. Again it came back within some time. Still more improvement can be done. He worked and worked and worked and worked to the best of his ability. And then he wrote a note on that and sent it inside again to Henry Kissinger, saying that this is the best I could produce, sir. and the message came from Henry Kissinger to that assistant saying, now I will read it. In fact, Henry Kissinger had not read that earlier versions at all, but he knew this only will make the assistant improve it better, further and further. So there is always a scope of improvement, there is always a scope of editing, but always do it in the end. And do the editing to the best and best of your abilities. But what is that best and best of abilities? Where should you stop? Till what time should you keep on improving? Where is that stop point? At this juncture, I remember Einstein, when he used to write, people used to say, how perfectly you are writing, how come you write so simple? And still it is thought-provoking. He commented, always write as simple as possible. I am quoting Einstein here. Always write as simple as possible, but never write simpler. So the moment you come to a level where it is going to be too simple, stop, because there is something that people also have to work upon. Let them also think. Their thinking will take them into a trance, and their thinking will hook them. And then that star hook chain formula will actually work for you. So make it as simple as possible, but don't make it simpler. Thank you. This is it.